All right, let's get right into it. The tech world is absolutely buzzing right now, and it's all because of this mysterious new AI model that's kind of popped up out of nowhere. There's a ton of speculation, some really incredible examples of what it can do, and one giant question. Is Google about to drop a major surprise on all of us? You know, the excitement online is so intense that people are actually calling it the second Ghibli craze. Now, you might remember the original Ghibli AI. It was an image model that just went completely viral for its super unique art style. Well, this new model is generating that exact same level of hype. And honestly, some are saying its powers are even more impressive. So the name at the heart of all this buzz is Nanobanana. It's this unconfirmed, totally unannounced AI model that people have been able to play with on these performance testing websites. And the results are just making jaws drop. The real twist? Nobody officially knows who made it. But let's just say the clues are starting to pile up. Okay, so let's break down what we actually know. What can this thing do that has everyone so worked up? Well, based on tests that have been run on sites like Marina, which is where new models often show up to get benchmarked, its real magic seems to be in editing existing images with an absolutely unbelievable level of quality. Its capabilities are really what's driving all this hype. We're talking about taking a blurry photo and making it perfectly sharp, or seamlessly mashing two totally different images together, or even just swapping out a background. But the real game changer? It's that last point. It creates these incredibly natural results because it seems to remember the details and the context of the original photo, which, is something a lot of other AI editors really struggle with. So we've got this AI with some serious power, and it's just kind of sitting out there on a testing site with no official creator attached. This, of course, leads to the million-dollar question. Who is behind Nanobanana? Well, the evidence trail is getting warmer, and it seems to be pointing directly to one of the biggest names in tech. And this is where the detective work really begins. We've got several key clues that have popped up, and they all point in the exact same direction: Google. Now, the company hasn't confirmed a thing, but the breadcrumbs they've left behind are almost too specific to be a coincidence. Let's take a look at the evidence. So our first major clue comes from Alexei Shabanov over at Testing Catalog. He's not just making a wild guess here, he's making a very specific prediction. He thinks Google is getting ready to officially show this thing off as a feature at their Made by Google hardware event on August 20th. And he's got a pretty compelling reason for thinking that. Shabanov's logic here follows a really clear pattern. If you look at last year's event, Google didn't just reveal the new Pixel phone. They also rolled out some powerful new AI features right alongside it. So he's arguing that this year is probably going to be a repeat performance, with Nanobanana being the star AI feature for the new hardware. Makes sense, right? The next clue? It's been hiding in plain sight this whole time: the name itself. The nano in Nanobanana is super significant. See, in the AI world, nano usually means a smaller, more efficient model that's designed to run right on a device, like a smartphone, instead of in the cloud. An on-device AI for the new Pixel phone, yeah, that fits the theory perfectly. And then there's this little bombshell from social media. An account on X called Lars_Pragmata, which is known for sharing stuff related to Google DeepMind, posted this statement that directly connects the dots. It says, quote, Gemini 3 Images, known as Nanobanana, is the best image editor. I mean, it doesn't get much more direct than that. So the case seems pretty solid, doesn't it? We've got a clear pattern, a suggestive name, a direct social media link. It really feels like a done deal. But, in any good mystery, there's always a twist. And it turns out not everyone is buying into this theory. Yep, despite all of this really compelling evidence that's pointing toward a big reveal, there's a strong counterargument coming from inside the industry that suggests maybe everyone should pump the brakes a little bit. The core of that skepticism really boils down to one simple fact. An industry insider pointed out that the Made by Google event has always been about hardware. It's where they show off new phones, new watches, new earbuds. It is just not the traditional place for a major AI software or tool launch. Doing so would be a huge break from tradition. So this leaves us with two very different, but, equally plausible stories. On one side, you have the expert predictions, you have the precedent from last year, and you have that very telling nano label. On the other side, you have the simple fact that, well, this just isn't the right kind of event for this kind of reveal, at least according to tradition. And that leaves us with a fascinating cliffhanger. All the evidence is on the table, the arguments have been made, and now, well, all we can really do is wait as the countdown to the main event begins. Everything is hinging on this one date, August 20th. That's the day of the Made by Google event, and that's the day we're finally going to find out if the speculators were right or if the skeptics had the clearer picture all along. All eyes will be on what Google decides to show us. And that brings us right back to where we started. Will Nanobanana, this potential second Ghibli, make its grand official debut alongside the next Pixel phone? Or is the mystery going to continue? It's a question that only Google can answer, and the whole world will be watching to see if they're about to let us in on their next big secret.